In today's Sunday solution, we're going to show you an item that may literally save you hundreds of dollars on your Suburban water heater.
It's time.
For another Sunday solution.
Let's go.
So if you have a Suburban water heater on your rig or your coach, you might want to invest in these two little products, very inexpensive products. And I'll tell you about that. I believe we were out west, and we had stopped at our rest area to, I believe, eat lunch or walk the dogs or whatever. And I did my walk around, which you should always do before you get back on the road. Check the tires and went around the rig, checked everything, like you're supposed to. And I noticed something. And what I had noticed, I'll show you. There's a little clip here from the factory. And the factory puts these in, and it's the tab to hold your water heater door on. Okay? And what that tab does is keep the door from flying off. So those are plastic. And over time, they deteriorate from the sun being on them and the hot and cold from the water heater, whatever. And they break, they crack. And when those plastic pieces crack, they can fall off, which is what ours did. So after it fell off, the door was only being held on by the two pins at the bottom. So all it had to do is pop out a little bit, which a bump, I suspect within a few miles we would have lost the door. So being at the rest area and not having many options, I found this little screw that's kind of dark, matched the color of the paint. It's a self-tapper. It's only about 1/4 inch long. So I threw that in there temporarily to get us to where we were going without worrying about losing the door. And the problem is, if you lose the door, especially on a painted coach, you have to purchase the door unpainted from Tiffin or Suburban. I don't know if they can get them to them or not. I believe you can. And but then you have to have it painted. So you got to either ship it to somebody or go to a paint shop and have them paint it and match the paint to your coach. So what we did is I went online, did a little research, and I found these stainless steel clips, which go inside and attach just like the regular plastic ones. There's no special tools or drilling or anything like that. And you put that on there, and it's stainless steel. It's never gonna crack and fall off and all that kind of thing. So the screw, I wouldn't recommend doing that unless it doesn't bother you, but I left that in there because otherwise, if I take the screw out, we're gonna have a hole here. And at some point, I'm probably gonna have this door repainted anyway, because it's getting kind of scratched up and it starts driving me crazy. That's another story. And another thing is, get one of these rubber ties. We'll put a link in for these, and I'll put a link in for the Camco stainless steel clips. These little rubber ties, they're cheap. I forget, I don't even remember what they cost, but I think they're like $1 or something. And you use these twisties, you can get them all different sizes. You can use them for your hoses, whatever. And you put that on there, and what that does is if the clip happens to turn sideways, your door is not going to come off because it's going to hit that rubber tie. So it's a simple solution. It's very easy to install. Like I said, it takes minutes. And it's peace of mind knowing that it's stainless steel. It's not going to rust, and it's not plastic, and it's not going to break. So, and it fits all the Suburban standard, water heaters and such. So it's a pretty simple idea, and it'll save you from the hassle of losing your door. Yeah, like I said, ours was gone. So if I hadn't have spotted it, we would probably went a few miles door would have popped off, flew off, and who knows? I mean, you could hit another car with it. You could hit your toad. Who knows what it's going to do? So they really shouldn't be plastic. I don't know why they do that, but they do. All right, so give me a second. I'll pop that door off. I'll show you what that clip looks like on the inside. Okay, so we got the door off. It only takes a second. And this is the clip. And I don't know how much you can see, but there's a spring back here. And then it installs just like that. So it's pretty simple. It's exactly like the factory, and I can't remember how it goes on. I think you push this in and then you put the spring on and you turn it or something that locks it in place. So, and there's a little, that hole typically isn't there. That's the little hole that I put in with that screw when I did that to get out of trouble where we were. So I could have very simply just took the door off and traveled with that until I got a replacement, but I mean, who wants to ride around with a door like that? So, and here's another pro tip while I'm in here that I just saw. Whenever you change your anode, which is right here, we got a label maker and we just put the date on it, which I'm due to check it again. I've been meaning to get around to it. It's a couple months over a year now, so about a year and a half, so it's pretty simple. The first year I wrote it on here in pencil, but I like this. I just cover it right up and go from there. So it's again, it's just one of them things you should do, because if you don't do it, you don't mark it, then you forget and you don't remember. But all the maintenance that you do on these things, you got to write things down or mark them somewhere so that you know. And typically I always mark it wherever, maybe water filters or whatever. I'll put a label on it if I can, and that way I know when I go to work on it. Now here's the other thing we did. We'll put these little metal screens on. There's a Suburban furnace. We have one on the other side too. And the reason we did that, and we didn't do that for the first year, is keep the bugs out. You got to keep the wasps and the bees out of there. You got the dreaded stink bugs that like to go in there. You don't really want the bee's nest in there. You know, a hornet gets in there, builds a nest, and then you have a potential fire when you fire up the furnace for the first time. So those install simple too. They're also made by Camco, and I'll put a link in there. There's a little spring in here that holds them on, and they give you a little tool to slide in there, and it goes through the screen, and you just pop it around that clip, the Y-shaped chrome plate, and it's spring loaded. And they've been on there. They're strong, like that spring. They move a little if you pull on them, but we've been all over the country, probably, I don't know, 13, 14,000 miles with them on. Knock on wood, we haven't lost one or had a problem with them. Both these items you can get for less than $25, I believe. And we'll put links in for that. And that's pretty simple. So it's a simple idea that'll get you, keep you from having issues down the road. Well, we hope you enjoyed that Sunday solution. If you do, give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Click the like. And if this video helps you out, be sure to hit us in the super thanks button down below. We'll see you next week.